Squad-based combat, sprawling maps and fleets of vehicles have made large-scale first-person shooters hugely popular over the last decade on console and PC alike. Despite the lasting dominance of titles like Call of Duty or Counter-Strike, there's a big market for big-scale warfare. If you love those epic modern battles, there's really only two choices worth opening your wallet for: EA's blockbuster Battlefield games or the PC-exclusive series ARMA from Czech developers Bohemia Interactive. So, which one's for you? From way back in the 2000s, both series have been refining their formulas. Born as the hardcore cult classic Operation Flashpoint in 2001, Bohemia's ARMA games were based off VBS, a simulator for military personnel practicing tactics and squad maneuvers. That heritage stuck. The first proper ARMA title, Armed Assault, hit shelves in 2006, featuring a 100-square-kilometre map which allowed enormous long-range engagements. Armed Assault proved popular despite bugs and poor menu design, and ARMA II followed in 2009, whose fanatical modding community would later create the runaway success zombie survival mod DayZ. Finally, 2013 gave us ARMA III, and Bohemia at last had a flagship product with modern presentation backing up unique gameplay. On the other side of the coin, there's Battlefield. Developed by DICE, the series kicked off with Battlefield 1942, whose accessible, entertaining World War II gameplay, large maps and vehicular combat would help it shift 2.5 million copies. Battlefield 2 followed in 2005, moving to a modern-day setting, sharpening the visuals considerably. 3 years later, 2008's Battlefield Bad Company cemented DICE's games as the graphical top dog. ARMA 2, released a year earlier, was far less visually impressive. In 2011, we saw Battlefield 3, which gave us familiar gameplay in larger maps, but it was notably less polished than its predecessors. Developed relatively quickly, Battlefield 4 dropped in 2013, visually stunning and great to play, but plagued by bugs. With large teams and large maps, you might think the gameplay in Battlefield and ARMA would be similar, but the truth is, they're hugely different. Battlefield 4 focuses on weapon unlocks and upgrades, combat is snappy and fast, and controls are streamlined, with vehicles being simple to control and aircraft fun to fly. ARMA 3, meanwhile, is considerably more complex. Weapons have weight. The game features an inventory system. Scopes need to be set to the correct ranges to function. It's here that you find the major divide between fans of the two series. Battlefield's accessibility ensures a gigantic player base to challenge, with Battlefield 4 selling more than 15 million copies. On the other hand, ARMA's complexity gives you one of the largest game maps ever to explore, with ARMA 3's Altis able to fit more than 120 of Battlefield 3's Caspian border inside it. Battlefield and ARMA are different games with different atmospheres. If you're picking one or the other, consider your preferences. When we want an hour of slick progression and simple, intuitive gameplay across gorgeously rendered maps, we fire up Battlefield 4. If we've got a whole evening to coordinate long-range mortar battles and scuba dive into enemy camps for surprise night assaults, we launch ARMA 3. If you get the chance, we fully recommend you give both a shot.